What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 25 of the Save Data Cast, the bi-weekly gaming discussion show where we talk everything from reviews to previews to what we're excited for this year, predictions for this year. That's the topic of the show today. It's a relatively new year. We're doing this in February. It's fine. There wasn't that much in January. Pokemon Legends Arceus didn't suck, I guess. That's the big prediction that someone could have said before.
Yeah.
Before like a week ago. So we didn't miss a lot. But I am your host, David, and joining me, as always, is our fearless captain, Zach.
Hey, you know what? I'm about to turn 31 next week, and this show is having its own quarter-life crisis.
Is it?
It's episode 25.
Oh, okay.
Oh, wow. Crazy.
Hey, I had a quarter-life crisis.
We're stopping the show at episode 100.
Yeah. Episode 100 will be the last episode we do of the show.
The show dies.
Which will also,
all good things must come to an end.
Which should coincide with one of the members of Save Data dying, as predicted. I don't know what 2 years ago. Whenever I did that joke,
Wasn't that? Oh my God, it wasn't 2 years ago.
No, it was literally.
Was it like 7 years in the future? So we got like 6 more years to go.
Yeah.
We'll hit episode 100 before.
Don't question it.
Don't worry about it.
Also joining us is Prij the Fridge Bridget.
Hey, keeping it cool since 1542.
Yes. Wait, 1542?
Yeah, I just choose random dates now.
Oh, okay.
Whenever he chooses me as a Fridge, I just say keeping it cool since I pick a date.
Okay.
I was like, was that the year the icebox was invented? That seems wrong.
I'm just gonna keep picking weird. I'm just gonna keep picking weirder dates.
It was the year that ice was invented.
Eventually, start using dates from the future.
The year ice was. We are also joined by the hockey stick and sickle herself. That's Elise.
I have a Garchomp in Pokemon Legends Arceus, so I'm doing pretty good.
Did you catch that just now as we were doing the intro?
Oh no, I haven't been playing since we started. But
Okay, nice.
Oh, you're not Chris. That's good.
Thank God.
no, look, my computer cannot handle streaming my camera to you. And also
your
playing
computer.
Pokemon Legends Arceus.
Oh, that's wild. I thought that game was only out on Switch, at least.
Folks, I want to talk about, before we get to our predictions and what we're excited about, I want to do something that we have not done in a number of episodes, honestly.
A long time.
Zach, what have you been playing?
Oh, honestly, I mean, I guess since last time I did start Returnal, I actually really like that game. I will probably not finish it, only because now I'm playing Pokemon Legends Arceus, which is really doing it for me. You know, like people were talking about this game right when it came out, and we're like, hey, this is actually pretty good. And hopping into it, yeah, it's really scratching that itch of just like, one, completely reimagines the way that you, the player, interact with Pokemon. And I very much think that is such a refreshing thing. So needed. Like, dear God, the franchise, like as somebody who very much deeply loves Pokemon, has started to feel extremely stagnant to me. I didn't even finish Sword and Shield, even though I admit that they are better games than some of the more recent entries. Mostly just X and Y. I hate X and Y. But man, Pokemon Legends Arceus fucking slaps. It's so fun to just explore for like over an hour. You're literally just wandering and just catching whatever comes by and slowly ticking off a laundry list of things to do. Of like, oh, catch this many of this Pokemon. See this this Pokemon do this move, or like feed this Pokemon, or beat this Pokemon in a battle, or beat this Pokemon with a move that's super effective against it. And so you get to fill out their Pokedex by doing that. And it's so fun. And it's dumb. It's not like the battles are super simplified from the main series, but it doesn't matter. And honestly, the fights in this are kind of a bit harder, because even if you have like a Pokemon that's super effective against the enemy, they still hit you for like a pretty decent amount. I would actually be terrified trying to Nuzlocke this game, but it's just super fun.
It's not just that they hit you for a lot, it's that like half the fights I ever do, because like I just catch the regular Pokemon like just by hitting them in the back and hoping it works,
just
right?
a drive by.
But the fights I'm actually like fighting are the alphas, because you can't catch them from the wild. You need to fight them.
Mm-hmm.
And the alphas kill all my Pokemon, usually in one shot, maybe in two if I'm lucky.
Yeah.
So it's just like a matter of hit them with one attack, die, swap out, hit them with one attack, die, swap out. Put them to
Usually,
sleep with another attack,
usually you have them low enough that you're like, okay. It's really good. The world does some really cool things and does some like bland things. But as far as Pokemon goes, this is easily a better story than a lot of the mainline games, and I care about a lot of what's going on. Pokemon Legends Arceus, good. It's a good game. There, I said it. So,
Heck yeah. Do you think they're gonna like? Do you think Pokemon Company or Game Freak will
make a follow up?
Well, I'm pretty sure they'll make a follow up because this is like the second.
Hope so.
This is like
fucking hope so.
It's on track to be like the second fastest selling Switch game other Animal Crossing.
Is it
from their
really?
Yeah, they released some numbers literally this morning or last night or something.
Ooh, that's amazing.
So yeah, it's doing well. It's doing just fine.
That makes me so happy because this game is great. Basically, it does so many things so good and reinvents the world of Pokemon so well. It obviously has a lot of hiccups or things that I wish it did differently, or graphical qualities that I wish could be improved. But all of that, like for me, I'm super happy with this as their first entry at trying to do this. Give them 2 to 3 years to do this again and do it better, because goddamn, I can't wait for that.
I mean, I'd be more interested once they like clean up some stuff. Like I look at that game, I'm like, this looks like it might hurt to look at for more than like an hour.
I will say this. If you play the game in handheld mode, you don't notice some of the rough patches as much. And I say that somewhat jokingly, somewhat being very serious. I mean, it's a Pokemon game.
It's also the thing, like,
just play it in.
I play it for an hour, and by the time I'm like half an hour in, I have adjusted to accepting that the game looks like shit and not really noticing it. You know? It's mostly the environments. Like, it's the environments, and it's like the artistic choices. Like more than half of the areas are just like an ugly brown and green with like really low detail, like repeating textures. And the grass is like, looks like it was made for the PS1. And
some of the screenshots, and like I watched Jason play through it a little bit the other day, and I was like, man, some of these textures, like you can get better stuff for free off of the Unity store. These are not great. Do either Elise or Zach, do you think that they'll port over some of like that strong style, weak style, or sorry, strong style, agile style to the main game?
No.
I hope so. It's kind of, honestly, what it is it's basically the same like turn system, or very similar to fucking the League of Legends.
Yeah, it's very similar to
that's what Jason was saying when you guys were playing it last Friday.
Yeah. I don't think that they'll port that. I think they'll port the new Pokemon types, and I think they'll port the new Pokemon moves introduced in this game. I don't think they'll port that style of attacking into the mainline games.
Man, because I would actually, I'm not particularly interested in Arceus Legends, or Legends Arceus, but I haven't played like a Pokemon game since like Heart Gold, Soul Silver. But if they brought in like some more interesting mechanics like that into the main game, I might actually buy a Pokemon game for the first time in like a decade.
The thing. I think the combat system in the mainline games is really good. It's just that so much of it is so dumbed down in the mainline, in the story campaigns, so you don't get to notice it as like a casual player just hopping in. This is cool and interesting. I think it only works for the system that is built into Arceus Legends, because that game is more about catching Pokemon quickly and getting through battles quickly if you have if you even have to battle. Because real talk, I mean, I've probably played 10 to 15 hours. I've had maybe like 7 trainer battles in the entire experience.
Oh yeah.
And if I fight a wild Pokemon, it's literally I hop in, I do one hit and throw a ball, catch it, and I'm done. Like that's it. Except for the alphas, which as Elise mentioned, hit like a fucking truck. But
it's also there's no like random trainer battles. There's no like trainers out in the wild that you're gonna have to fight while you're moving places. It's literally just like sometimes after you finish a mission, your rival, quote unquote rival, will be like, "Hey, you want to fight? I want to see how good we are. I want to test my skills against you." And sometimes you have to fight like the wardens of the Lord Pokemon to show that you love your Pokemon or some shit.
Yeah. which is like very like textbook Pokemon shit.
Or like missions.
That's so
yeah.
It's cool though.
Yeah.
So much of it I like a lot.
Also like are so easy. Like I catch a lot of alpha Pokemon right now. My team is half alpha Pokemon because I've got Sylvia on my starter and a non-alpha Garchomp in there. But I will one-shot every single thing that any trainer shows up.
Yeah.
Like, because for one, I'm over-leveled. For two, like, what are they going to do? I've got enough Pokemon that they send out like 3 Pokemon at once against one. And I'm like, okay, I'll super effective this guy, swap out super effective that guy, and then the same Pokemon can super effective the other one. Like, good luck.
Yeah. No, it's but there's just so much of like the reimagining of this world and how you interact with it as a player is so fresh and so good. Like, damn, I love it. I love it so much. And this actually makes me be like, fuck, I don't know. Like coming back to the mainline series is gonna feel tough in a way. I want to assume that they're gonna do the smart thing and make more of the game feel like walking around in the wild area in Pokemon Sword and Shield, or walking around in like just anywhere in this game.
Game Freak, smart idea.
I know, but hey, they made this game. They made this game. This wasn't made by a third-party studio. This was Game Freak themselves. And like that makes me really excited. I hope it's not unfounded, but so we'll see.
Yeah, you do lose a little something that I wish Legends Arceus had compared to the mainline games, which is like, for one, just it kind of adopts a Monster Hunter like structure where it's like you have your main city or like town that you branch out of to go to different places, different like areas to do a little mission. It's not quite Monster Hunter. You don't like go out to kill that specific monster and then come back and like repeat, but it's like it's a similar structure. And not having that like grand adventure to different towns and the whole like region, I think you lose a little bit of the like the growth and adventure of the story there that is a major part of the Pokemon like experience.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
But I think it's definitely worth it. Like, but I hope in the next one they'll like branch out a little bit more, maybe blend the two, have a bit more of that.
Yeah.
Oh, awesome.
What's your team, by the way, Zach?
Sorry?
What's your team so far?
I swap it around so much. The only staples I have are I went with Cyndaquil just because I looked ahead of time and saw the final forms, and I love me a fire ghost type. Love that time combination.
I have seen the alpha, or not the alpha, the new like
forms.
Typhlosion. Yeah,
Typhlosion.
Actually, I haven't seen the new Oshawott version, Samurott.
It's okay. It's the one that looks the most similar to the original, which was also one of my least favorite final forms. Samurott. Love Oshawott and love the middle form. Do not love Samurott. But
why do you hate Samurott so much?
He's so whatever.
He's Cool.
I feel you. I also
No, he goes from
I love Oshawott,
he's
but, like,
bipedal for 2 forms, and then all of a sudden he's walking on 4s, and he's called samurai, like he's a samurai. I'm like, no, you're not a samurai. You're a
He has a
4-legged
freaking
dog.
sword
otter.
horn. He is a samurai. It's a sword horn.
Nah,
It's
give him a
coming out of
fucking
his-
sword.
It's coming out of his
Nah,
face.
He's a unicorn, all right. You know, he's a otter unicorn. Let him be a fucking cool blade wielding otter. Like that's all I want. That's all I want. And they lied to me.
His new form just
I
has
went
his
with
armor looking more like a Kabuto. Okay.
Yeah. It's
Not the
like kinda
Pokemon
what I-
I
Kabuto,
went with
the helmet.
Yeah.
Rowlet. I am not a huge I
Decidueye
still
fan?
like Decidueye, but I not as much as like just base form Decidueye. Like I feel like
Mhm.
it's a downgrade in my eyes. Plus the fighting type is just losing the flying for fighting. It's like
Yeah, I mean the fact that there's already a really good grass fighting type in Breloom is kind of a bummer, but anyways.
We don't talk
But
about
I mean,
Breloom on this channel.
I fucking
No,
hate
we fucking hate Breloom.
I hate Typhlosion
All my
anyway,
homies
so-
hate Breloom.
I was gonna say I hate Typhlosion because it's just you scale up a Cyndaquil and that's all you get.
No,
Yeah, but he's
that's
cool.
super true. That's super true. No, base Typhlosion, boring. This Typhlosion, kind of cool. He's got an attitude.
He's got an attitude.
Uh-huh. He's like, he looks like he has depression, and I dig that.
Oh, I don't need more of that.
He looks like he has depression.
He does. Look at fucking Hisuian Typhlosion. He's going through some things, all right? Actually, he's part ghost type, which means he's dead inside, just like the rest of us in 2022. Typhlosion, it's the year of Typhlosion. There, Hisuian Typhlosion. Boom.
Oh, he is sad.
Yeah, and it's cool because
I relate to this one.
when when his fire activates, his fire is now like purple and like wispy.
That's actually
Oh,
Yeah,
all
no,
right.
he's good. He's a good Pokemon.
Yeah.
it's okay.
Listen, it's better than.
It doesn't actually look that different.
Well,
Truthfully.
No, he doesn't.
no. Here's the thing: the only one that looks
They don't.
different is Hisuian Decidueye. But
Yeah,
And that was a downgrade anyway, so
I'll say this:
Yeah.
the reference to the real world owl that it's based on is very cool. But yeah, it looks kind of funky.
Like Decidueye, the Rowlet line is up there in my favorites like ever.
Mm-hmm.
I still like Hisuian Decidueye. It's just like not as good.
Yeah.
All right, that's enough Pokemon.
No, we talked so much about that. I'm sorry.
Prij, what you been playing?
honestly, mostly just Tales of Arise. That's most of what I've been playing outside of some a Golden Deer maddening run in 3 houses. But mostly Tales of Arise, and overall, it's pretty good. Now that I have all the gameplay mechanics, the gameplay is definitely top tier for Fire Emblem. Also, in terms of every character in your party being fun to play as, this might also be the best Tales game in that regard.
Wow.
In that it's actually fun to play as each individual character, where usually most games have 1 or 2 characters that are just terribly unfun to play as.
Yeah.
Which I appreciate.
And they really encourage you with the Colosseum in this one.
Yeah, a big thing that Berseria was missing was Berseria did not have any solo mode where it forced you to play as a single character. And Arise brings it back, which I appreciate because I love those. So overall, it's really, really good. My biggest thing is I'm very hit or miss on the story.
How many hours in are you, Prij?
Dude, I'm in the 5th place. I'm
Okay.
in like the final. I'm in the final dungeon of the 5th place.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a lot of story moments that are like designed to hit really hard, and they just don't for me. Like there are some emotional moments that hit. I'm not saying it's all bad. I'm saying it's hit or miss, but there are definitely times where the game's trying to like tug on your emotional strings, and I'm just like, yeah, this is whatever. I think a lot of it has to do with pacing. I think some things get introduced and resolved a little too quickly for me to be invested enough in the characters. Might be part of the issue. So story's mid-tier for me. Gameplay is definitely top tier Tales game though, and I mean that's kind of the most important thing. So I'm having a blast for the most part.
Nice.
Heck yeah. Also, Prij, when you finish the 5th place, you're gonna get a cutscene. Skip it. Trust me.
Wait, what?
Okay.
There is a cutscene after the 5th place.
Okay.
That spoils the rest of the game.
How does that happen?
It was the weird. It doesn't like completely spoil it, but like it spoils moments that are about to happen that would have hit harder. I literally like partway through the cutscene, I ended up skipping it because like I started to see things, and I'm like, why are you doing this? They have like basically
is it like showing you the future.
So you know how they do at the beginning of Tales games, they got like an AMV, and that's your opening cutscene thing.
This one had a
There's
pretty good song.
Second AMV.
And the second AMV starts showing you.
The second AMV shows you stuff for the stuff that's not happened in the game yet, and I'm like, why the fuck would you do that?
Oh shit, that's really dumb. Oh shit, that's crazy dumb.
Wow.
So as soon as you start seeing anime, skip it.
Shit, that's really dumb. That's awesome.
literally, they give you an AMV, and then 30 seconds after the AMV, they do a cutscene with a thing that happens in the first 10 seconds of the AMV, and I'm like, at least wait for this moment to happen.
Is the song a banger at least?
No, it's good. I recommend after you finish the game to go back and watch the second AMV.
Yeah, the intro song's a banger too. It's no Karma by Bump. It's no Karma by Bump of Chicken, but it's still a banger.
God, I love the name of that band.
Bump of Chicken is fucking amazing.
They're
so
great.
Many tracks.
They're great, but yeah, no, skip the second AMV.
All right, thank you. I'm gonna do that.
Because like I was literally confused. I'm like, wait, did this?
It's really fucking funny though.
First of all, I was like, why is there a second AMV? That's not usually a thing that happens. Did these things happen yet? No. Oh god, these are spoilers. What are you doing? Like that was my progression.
Really
yeah, but I look for the second. Prij, you know how Tales games work. The second half is better than the first half.
There's always a giant fake out.
There's always a giant fake out. The second half is better than the first half, which is pretty normal.
Yeah, and this one is very obviously a giant fake out because like there's a whole nother world we haven't explored, and you're like, oh yeah, this ending we're going towards is absolutely.
I don't know what you're talking about, Prij. There's no second world. No.
The game fucking starts by telling you there's 2 worlds. That's not a spoiler. The game literally says the Renan's attacked.
Oh my god.
It does. I'm glad you're enjoying it, though. I'm glad you're enjoying it.
Yeah, no, again, they really should have given you some features of the combat earlier, but now that I have them, I'm loving the combat, so. Yeah, that's all I got.
At least I'm skipping you because you did Pokemon already. I've been playing 2 games recently that I'll talk about very shortly. First one that I'm partway through is Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle. Hadn't played that yet.
Oh shit!
Oh, how are you liking that? I didn't play that one, but the second one, which I'm certain we'll talk about a little bit, looks interesting.
It looks cool. It basically, for people who aren't aware, Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle is Mario meets XCOM. And it's interesting. The narrative of the game is non-existent. It's fine.
Yeah, no, it's bad.
A Mario game. It's basically non-existent.
Who cares?
The Rabbids are there. That's the story. There are Rabbids.
Nice.
Yeah.
The combat, I'm not super far. I think I'm in world. I think I'm halfway through world 3, and I think there's like 4 or 5 worlds.
Okay, no, you're decently far then.
Okay. I'm like halfway through world 3, and man, I wish they gave me characters and abilities faster. Because
that's what I just said.
The more I unlock, the more I'm like, oh, this game is fun. Man, like the whole world 1, like you just do not have things unlocked, and I'm like, slogging through that. Like, it was really slow. They don't give you the cool things until pretty late in World 1, where like your teammates can sync up and do things, which sucked. I was, because like that's the part that feels good. Like, just give me the part where I can have my teammates actually work together to do cool things.
Yeah.
And they're pretty stingy on giving you the characters. Like, there's still 2 characters I haven't unlocked yet, I believe. Or at least they're in the character select. I don't know if they're DLC though. They might be DLC and still show up.
They might be.
I got Peach.
It's been years since I played. Oh no, yeah. Did you just get Peach?
A little while ago, I got Peach.
Okay, no,
I think in end of World 2, you get Peach.
Oh, you mean actual Peach, not
actual Peach.
Rabid Peach.
Actual
Peach. Okay. Sorry, no, yeah. You're right.
See, you had to specify with a game like this.
Yeah.
I was about to be like, Rabid Peach, you get like right at the beginning, dude.
Yeah,
I don't know what you're talking about.
Peach. There's 2 characters that are still like grayed out on the character select screen.
Okay.
And I don't know if I'm supposed to get them or if they're DLC that I didn't buy because I didn't buy any of the DLC. I think Donkey Kong and stuff is in DLC. I don't know if he shows if like the thing is
interesting
passed out. So I don't know if there's more characters, but if there are, man, they should just give them to me at this point because like, pretty far in this game. And I guess like gameplay wise, there's a few characters that are just miles better than the rest of them.
Yes,
man, Rabid Mario is busted. Red Mario was absolutely busted. Normal Mario is good, but you're forced to keep him, so I can't swap him out. Rabid Mario is insane, does incredibly high amounts of damage and has high lifesteal. That's busted. And there are a few other characters that are just like completely broken compared to other ones too. But like, I'm enjoying it. Zero, like if you're familiar with XCOM, there's like hit chance, which this game basically is like there's sort of hit chance. You either have a 0% chance of hitting someone, a 50%, or 100%. Those are your options. And there are moments where I'm like, man, I love that this is the case. And there are other moments where I'm like, I should really be able to hit that person.
Yeah.
Oh, and Mackie says in the chat the silhouettes are not from the DLC. So there's 2 more characters that I've yet to unlock. Cool. I would like to just have them at this point. I think the difference in weapons and abilities is cool. I wasn't expecting like RPG skill trees for each of the characters. That has been both cool and annoying because there are some things in the skill tree that I'm like,
just let me have that.
Should probably just have this. Like,
I agree 1,000,000% with that opinion.
And I don't think the game does a good job of explaining what all the things, especially status effects, do. Like it doesn't tell you at all. It doesn't tell you at all what they do. Let me specify. It literally does not tell you. Some of them are pretty obvious once they happen to you, but like I have abilities that I haven't been hit by yet. Like I have a stone status effect that I just haven't used because I don't know what this does. So I'm not. My options are lifesteal or stone. I'm gonna go with lifesteal, bro. Like, and I'm not. I just don't know what stone does, and I'm not gonna find out. But overall, it's fun. I'm having a good time with it. I recommend if you do play this game, do not waste your time trying to get like a high score on like the first 2 worlds. Like, don't waste your time trying to get like a perfect so you get coins and level things. Waste of time. Don't do that. I made that mistake, and World 1 took forever and sucked, and now I'm like, oh, I could just go back later and clear that in like 5 seconds. Okay. So don't do that. Save yourself some pain and misery. The other game I played through was Nier Replicant, the remake from last year.
Oh yeah, I saw you were playing that.
Man, I love and hate that game. It has a bit of a Tails problem. It's got a Tails problem sprinkled in with some Nier Automata, which is
okay.
The game's not particularly long. I think it's like 15 to 20 hours to beat
oh wow.
the first, well, to beat the first playthrough is 15 to 20 hours.
Okay.
And the first like 10 hours were not really great. They were okay. The second 5 to 10, I actively was like, I'm really having fun. This is like the combat system's finally clicking. I got items now. Like I have teammates. This is cool. And then like the fights got more interesting. It was great. And then it did the Yoko Taro thing of like, hey, so you beat the game one time, you get very limited information. Now you got to beat the game a second time. Except you start from halfway through the game, so it's not as bad. And I was like,
okay.
And like it even prefaced like it's gonna come from the viewpoint of Kaine, who is the I don't want to say what they is probably the correct way to refer to Kaine, but it leads into like, oh, you're gonna get stuff from the perspective of Kaine, and I was like, oh, cool, they're a cool character. Like, seemed interesting, but I didn't learn shit about them the whole first playthrough. So it'd be cool to learn things, and most of it is a couple tiny differences to cutscenes and a wall of fucking text at the beginning, and they're like, here is how that's different. Play through it again. Like, okay, cool. Ending, you get a little extra that totally could have just been a part of the first playthrough of the game. As could have most of the Kaine stuff just been part of the first playthrough of the game. It's like, okay. Cool. And I read online, people are like, oh, like the third one is where it gets good. Like third playthrough is where like the story really kicks in. And I was like, okay, you know what? I'm interested in the story stuff. I'll just rush through the third one. You can do it in like a couple hours. So I was like, okay, rush through the third one. You need to collect all the weapons in the game to get the third one, but I had already done that in the second playthrough because it was pretty easy to do. And so you just rush through that. Literally nothing was different except for a couple added cutscenes with the characters Popola and Devila, which was cool. Also, fantastic story content. Also, should have just been in the second playthrough. And then
I recognize those names.
It just sounds like it just sounds like it's just like disrespecting your time.
Oh, 100%. Like it felt like a total disrespect to my time. And then you get to the third ending, you have to make a choice, and the choice you make gives you the third or the fourth end.
Okay.
So you just thank God I read ahead for this one, made a separate save file because one of them does fucky things with your save, as Yoko Taro is he has a tendency to do.
Yeah.
And then so the ending D, the fourth ending, was the final canon ending of the original game. And then there's a fifth ending they added for this game, where you get to actually play as Kaine, which I thought would happen when I did the second playthrough. But you're playing the same character, but you actually get to play as Kaine for a short period, and it adds a bunch of new stuff, which was cool, albeit also only like an hour. So I was like, this is dope. I learned a ton. Man, wish they had just, condensed that down to like 1.5 playthroughs instead of 4. So it was a lot of cool story content, but man, fucking Yoko Taro has no respect for players.
Do you feel like that game was hurt by the fact that it was a remake of an old game, or do you think that no, this is just bad? Like, do you think that the way that story was delivered to you is because it was archaic game design?
Not so much, because he kind of did it in Nier Automata too.
Oh, 100%.
However, the Nier Automata ones,
some of my playthroughs of Nier Automata.
Well, the Nier Automata ones I was generally okay with, because like it at least you had control of a different character, or you got a good, like the 9S parts of Nier Automata second playthrough added a lot more content and a lot more story.
I know people
listen, compared to the Nier Replicant ones is what I was gonna say. Like,
and that was that. Yeah, I guess that's more of what I meant. I was like, do you think that this feels way harder to do in a world where we've played Nier Automata?
Yeah, it was Yoko Taro's first pass of doing what he wanted to do in Nier Automata. Like, you can definitely feel that.
Gotcha.
And what I was hoping for, since it
It's
was
like
a
in Nier
remake and not a remaster, was that they would fix some of that. Instead, he just added extra.
Only the first replay, like the 9S part, you're actually like replaying content.
Yeah, the rest after that, it's
with a
totally new
different
content.
The rest are yeah.
Which this one, it's
barely.
literally up until that extra hour they added, entirely old content. You've already done it. Nothing gameplay-wise changes. It's just a couple cutscenes are different. Like, gameplay does not shift. It's no different.
Yeah, if
I guess
I hadn't seen on the internet.
I guess ending 3 and 4 have an extra boss.
Oh, that's huge.
that's
So
it.
much new content.
Yeah, honestly, skip Replicant if you're getting into the Nier series. Play Automata. Don't bother with Replicant. Or if you're playing Replicant, play through it once and read the changes. Don't play for them.
Go to YouTube.
Yeah, go to YouTube.
Go to YouTube.
All right, folks, let's get to the topic of the show. What are we excited about for video game in 2020?
The inevitable heat death of the universe. Oh, you said for video games?
I was just say, what are we going to say? I was just say video games. There's lots of video games.
There's lots of stuff coming.
That
before
might come out this year.
Yeah, I was gonna say, before we dive into literally any of that, I think we just cover the big things real quick. Most of us are excited for Horizon Forbidden West.
Yeah.
Most of us are excited for Breath of the Wild 2, should that actually happen.
I mean, I wanted to, but I also don't because it's on my fantasy league.
Oh yeah, you counterpicked it, so good.
Yep.
Yeah.
Most of us are excited for God of War, Ragnarok.
Yeah.
A couple of us are excited for Elden Ring. I want to get the big shots out of the way. Like, I'm excited for all those except for Elden Ring. I'm probably not gonna play it unless people come.
Same.
Yo, me and Elise, let's go Elden Ring.
So excited for Elden Ring.
Oh, I can't wait.
And like Horizon, I'm excited for because I want to see them fix the things that I had issues with in the first game.
Same.
And it looks like they fixed the gameplay ones that I had issues with. The pacing, you won't be able to tell till we play the game. So,
I am terrified because I just realized how impossible it's going to be for me to play both Elden Ring and Horizon because they both come
fun
out
with that within like a week of each other.
both of them are games that I want to play.
I'm not playing Elden Ring on launch because Witch Queen exists.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, Destiny.
That's right.
Well, damn.
I'll have to wait a couple weeks for like a month or two to play
Okay.
Elden Ring because Witch Queen will be consuming my time.
I mean, I'll give it 1 week
It's
at least before I jump. But no, I'm going to play it. I'm definitely going to play it at launch. I don't know if I'll finish it, but honestly, I'll probably finish Elden Ring before I finish Horizon, but we'll see.
Yeah, I imagine Elden Ring's probably shorter than her. Maybe not.
They said recently that it's around 20 to 24 hours to finish the game.
Horizon or Elden Ring?
Elden Ring.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Because I think Horizon was longer than that.
Yeah. At least that's a little bit shorter than most of FromSoft's games on a first playthrough.
It usually took me about first playthrough 60-ish hours to beat the 3 Dark Souls. Actually, I haven't beat Dark Souls 2, so.
I mean, I don't want to tell you get good. I feel like it's more like 30 to 40, but.
Okay.
No.
Dark Souls 1 took me about 60. Dark Souls 3 took me about 30 to 40, actually.
Yeah, so. You're more. Yeah, I think it's more the later titles is a little bit shorter. Just because everybody's better at playing those games now.
Are there any other like big releases that were like all of us excited for? Before we get into like, people specific ones.
I mean, again, the ones you mentioned are all of like I think you mentioned the biggest ones.
Yeah.
All either sequels or a game series that people know to like love.
Oh, I did forget one since Chris isn't here. Skull and Bones, right? Skull and Bones is coming this year.
That was a joke I had later in the show. Damn it.
The game or the TV show?
Both.
Both
Neither.
biggest release of this
Neither.
year, Skull and Bones.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna start us off then with ones that like I'm individually excited for.
Okay.
Go for it.
Dude, I'm super hyped for that Trek to Yomi Devolver game. If you
Oh,
have
hell
not, if you've not seen
Which
the
one?
trailer, Trek to Yomi.
Oh, okay.
It was in the Devolver
Oh.
showcase. It was like a 2D side scroller, Akira Kurosawa samurai
no,
fucking game.
It looks rad. It looks rad.
Which, man, that's right up my goddamn alley. Like,
Yeah.
It looks so good.
That's a David ass game. Right
It's a
there.
David ass game. Like that's one of those ones where like I thought about getting it for like Fantasy Critic, and I'm like, I don't know how well this game's gonna score. It could be poo poo, but like I'm gonna play this game and I'm gonna enjoy it.
Devolver games do pretty well.
They're never usually bad, but like
Even the ones that we don't think are good actually get good review scores.
well, a lot of them.
Carrion.
That didn't do. It got like a 74, a 72 or something. It did not do great.
It was on a Game of the Year awards nomination list, and I was like,
Oh, yeah,
"Get
that
the
was
fuck out of here!" This game.
No, that doesn't belong. But like they release games
Sorry.
that get like low 70s.
Yeah,
Oh.
no, that's fair. That's fair.
Which is where I honestly expect Trek to Yomi to be.
Mm.
But like, man, games. I've seen so little of that game, and I'm just like, I'm so hyped. Ghost of Tsushima was like such my jam. This is hopefully a shorter like experience that's like 2D side scroller combat games, which I enjoy. I inject this game into my veins. When I have a release date, I'm probably gonna watch some Kurosawa movies like the week before this comes out, just to like prepare myself. I'm here for this.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Who wants to go next?
I mean, I guess just another quick one that I think I'm pretty sure everybody here wants to happen, whether or not it's going to come out this year. I don't know. But Hollow Knight Silk Song, where the fuck is it?
I still haven't played the first one yet.
Oh, it's good.
Oh, it's so good.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to say any more about it, but we all want that game to come out. So
Yeah.
I can't believe
phenomenal Metroidvania.
I cannot believe they haven't said anything about that game.
It's the thing where at this point, I think we're gonna get some random announcement in some random Nintendo Direct, and it'll be like it's out now, and we're like, what the fuck? Like you can't just do that to us. Like, come on.
Yeah, that one they
Team
did
Cherry,
that.
don't do this to me
now,
two.
but
Don't do this to me 2 fantasy years in a row, Team Cherry.
I don't think they're going to announce any. My prediction is they're not going to announce anything until like it goes gold, and then like they'll say it's out in like a month or so.
Yeah.
Because they've delayed it so much already. Like I want them to make a good game.
They haven't even delayed it. At least they just don't talk about it.
Yeah, they haven't given us a date ever.
I think they've internally delayed it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I know what you mean. I was just
I want them to be able to take their time and not like rush it out. So if they announce a date, like I think they're gonna be. It's gonna be soon. Like
I'm with Zach. I think it's just gonna be dropped with a direct. Like it's just gonna be like, hey, Hollow Knight Silk Zone out now. That's what they did with Axiom Verge 2, and I was shocked. It's like the first Axiom Verge did so well, and granted, people didn't jive with 2 very to the degree that they did with 1. But like, the fact that game had been announced and was like, it's coming to Switch, and then nothing for like 2 years, and then it's just like, hey, it's out now. It was just wild. Yeah. And I wouldn't be shocked at this point. It's almost that's just what Nintendo does with the indie titles that they have. They have exclusivity briefly or partnership with.
I would be shocked if they did for Hollow Knight Silk Song, but maybe so. they do random like weird partnerships with indies. So, and I mean, if I have the chance, I am going to play that game on Switch because that's how I know I'll actually finish it versus playing it on Steam.
Yeah, first one's like what 40 hours? That's like a 40-hour game. Pretty long.
Maybe not that long, but it's definitely longer than you want it to be a game you play on Steam.
Okay. It was literally when I was looking for things to play between like a couple weeks ago and Sifu coming out next week.
Yeah.
I looked at game times and I was like, Hollow Knight? And then I looked at like How to Long to Beat. Not Hollow Knight, no. Sorry. Sorry, not Hollow Knight.
Ashes in the Hourglass says that Hollow Knight 1 was on Switch before PlayStation 4 or Xbox. Okay. Then maybe.
Okay,
maybe they will have console exclusivity for a time window.
It was on Switch. It got its like big rise to fame in the Switch, but it came out like a year and a half earlier on PC.
Yeah.
So,
Okay. Gotcha.
It was kind of funny because it came out on PC and like I saw it. I didn't play it, but I saw people like talking about it. And then it came out on Switch and it was like everyone's talking about it now.
Yeah.
And that's when it got like all its Game of the Year awards and everything.
Hollow Knight come out before the Switch was even released? It did. It came out like a month before.
Damn, that's wild to think.
So they probably didn't have a dev unit. That's why it came to Switch later. They didn't know Switch existed.
Yeah.
Wow.
Fair.
Heck yeah, Prij, what are you looking at for?
Also, another quick one out there. Again, there's another one where Nintendo's committed that it's coming out this year, but we don't have any release date, anything. Bayonetta 3.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Give me more Bayonetta, baby.
Mm-hmm.
I will say with those, the Nintendo, I think it was like their quarterly financial statement thing they had yesterday, or investor meeting. They did maintain 2022 for Bayonetta 3, Breath of the Wild 2,
Mario Rabbids, and like one other game I think they committed to.
Splatoon. That was the other one.
Yeah, yes, you are correct.
And
then Metroid Prime 4 was TBA.
So like,
it's not coming out this year.
We know.
No, it was just funny that they even mentioned it.
Yeah.
It was just like it made me believe the other dates more because they put Metroid Prime 4 in there and we're like, I mean, we still don't know yet. It was like, oh, well, why would you bring these up at all if you didn't name them? So I have a little more hope than I did like a week ago that those games will actually come out this year. And Prij, you played all the Bayonettas, right?
I never played 1.
Okay.
I played 2.
Oh.
Yeah, I grabbed 2 for the Wii U when it was on sale one time, and I've beaten it like 3 times in my life.
I didn't know you owned a Wii U. I just assumed no one did.
One of the dozens of us that owned a Wii U.
How else would I play one of the greatest games of all time, Xenoblade Chronicles X, if I didn't own a Wii U?
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Fair.
But no, yeah, Bayonetta 2 was a phenomenal game. Incredibly fun hack and slash. Devil May Cry sort of game, and if they just do most of the same with 3 in a fresher, newer package, I'll be pretty damn happy.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyone else for Bayo? I don't know.
No, I'm excited. I played through 1 several times, and I think I played through most of 2. But in general, like, character action games don't resonate with me super hard, mostly because they're meant to be played several times. Like you
like play them like Nier.
Yeah. No. It's very much like, hey, like, improve your own personal score, like do cooler combos, blah, blah, blah. And for me, I'm like,
Bayonetta has like a bronze, gold, silver, gold, platinum. And I one of my playthroughs, I platinumed every level.
Oof. Oh, stronger man than me, Gunga Din, because damn, some of that shit is fucking brutal.
There are some boss battles that absolutely suck to not take damage on.
Yes.
Do you have to just not get hit to get the platinum?
Some things.
Essentially, yes.
Yeah.
It feels like it sometimes.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe Bayonetta's not for me.
No.
I mean, that's to get a platinum. You can still have fun.
Yeah, exactly. Like, but at the end of the day, like, the world of Bayonetta is super interesting. I think Bayonetta as a character is like awesome. She's super rad and fun, and I love that she's a witch that uses her fucking hair. That is also her clothes. It's weird and cool and dope, and like the weird shit with like her past self and Jean and like all the other weird cast of characters they have is just cool as shit. And
does Jean wear jeans?
No, Jean also wears her hair.
She also has a hair bodysuit.
Yeah. The witches all use their hair, David. That's all you need to know. But they're all fucking cool, and you fight angels. Like, that's fucking rad. That's metal as shit.
Some Evangelion shit right there.
And there's some biblical ass angels.
They are like the world design of this game series kicks ass.
The monster designs, both angels and demons, are incredible in those games.
Yeah, just so much of it is it is so focused on being cool, and it delivers on that in just about every aspect. To me, Bayonetta is what I wish that No More Heroes consistently was instead of sometimes was. Because No More Heroes at its peak, I like more than Bayonetta, but Bayonetta as a whole is always like at a really good level pretty much consistently. And they're not doing a weird like half sequel thing that doesn't do very well and then release a full sequel that also doesn't do very well. So
no one talked about at all.
Yeah.
Very sadly.
Yeah, god damn it. I should play it, but I just don't want to pay the money to play a game.
If there's ever a giant sale on it, I'll do it.
Yeah. What game is that?
Beyond Good and Evil. Yeah, I almost said Beyond Good and Evil 3. Oh, I'm sorry, David. I didn't mean to do you like that. Did you hear that?
Beyond Good and Evil 3 came out.
You missed 2.
You missed it.
I mean, we're all gonna miss 2. That game's gonna get canceled. Like, if you think I didn't go back onto the dregs of the internet to find Beyond Good and Evil 2 news before this show to figure out if I should be excited for it or not, let me tell you, folks.
No,
I shouldn't be. I shouldn't even think that this game exists anymore.
Ouch.
Because folks, it does not look good for Beyond Good and Evil. It's not looking good. There was a Twitter post in like November last year from an insider who was like, yeah, there's some devs there that say they wouldn't be shocked if this game got canceled at any time. And then like a week later, he put out a new Twitter post that was like, well, there's a lot of other devs who reached out to me after the other one and said, no, that's not going to happen. So I don't know who to believe. So
okay, interesting.
Like, this game's fucking doomed. I'm never getting Beyond Good and Evil 2. Game's cursed.
Weird.
Game's absolutely fucking cursed.
Yeah.
Elise, what non-cursed game are you excited for this year?
Like more personal ones, but I mentioned it briefly. Witch Queen is coming out in like a couple weeks. It's Destiny 2, the Witch Queen, the new expansion. They've taken like a year and a half on this one, or just over a year, which they usually turn them out once every year, but they've been a bit slower because of the pandemic and everything. And they've slowly been dripping out the twabs that this week of Bungie is telling us what's going to happen. There's a big one today about like weapon crafting, which is this big new system that looks like a lot of fun. The raid is coming out on March 5th, sorry. And this will hopefully be my first time doing like a day one raid in Destiny, which are apparently really fun.
Yeah.
And also may take like 15 hours or something.
Yeah. From my time raiding in WoW, if it's anything like that, you're gonna die a lot.
They did this thing. They used to not do it, but I think like a couple years ago, basically the raid comes out like a week and a half after the expansion, and there's like a minimum level you have to be, or you should be, to enter the raid, but you can't over level for the raid because you will always be 25 light levels or power levels, gear level below the raid, which is like huge. 25 power level is like you will get 1 or 2 shot by pretty much everything. Jesus. And things will take a long time to kill. The basic content in the game, like when you're doing the like campaign or like strikes and stuff, you're going to be like 20 levels over for that. And like when you're doing the raid after day one, you're probably going to be like maybe up to 20 levels above. It scales, so like if you're more than 20 levels above, then you're not you don't get more advantage, and everything like level wise is proportionate. So like, doesn't matter if it's like 1300 or 1200. It just matters how far above or below you are. Basically, what I'm saying is the day one is always harder, just like for one, because no one knows how the mechanics work, and the raids are like, I love Destiny raids. They're like a big puzzle box, and every encounter is like you need to figure out in what order to do things and like what everything means. Like there's one where you need to like you get sent to half your team gets sent to another like version of the arena. They need to run through and then shoot these little cubes that appear in the sky. But the people that didn't get sent are the ones that see the order they need to set to shoot the cubes. So you need to have one team like communicating the order, and then the other team is like shooting them in the right order. And then if you're doing the challenge, you need to like have each person in the other room like can only shoot one of them, or else you fail the challenge.
Oh my god!
At least like if you ever get into other MMOs, you will enjoy raids so much.
I raided a little bit in ESO for a while, but it was fine. I've not heard
great things about the ESO raids.
I did the first raid in Final Fantasy XIV.
That one's garbage. I played that. That first raid is garbage.
Raids are the mechanics of dealing damage in Destiny are not super like in depth when you're doing boss damage. Like if you're playing Final Fantasy XIV, you are. I heard it described, I think on Reddit or something, where Destiny raids or other MMO raids like WoW or Final Fantasy are about doing your mechanics despite the boss, or despite like the raid. So you need to keep doing damage. You need to keep up your rotation and like avoid things and do the mechanics of the boss while you're doing your like complex DPS rotation or keeping everyone alive as a healer or whatever. Whereas Destiny, it's much more about just doing the mechanics and then like being able to deal some damage, because dealing damage just means hitting it with whatever meta weapon is like that season. That's not like the super interesting part. The interesting part is like unraveling the puzzle box and then like communicating it with your team and like this well-oiled machine that you need to be as like a team of 6 people.
Yeah. I one of these days I'm going to play a game that has a raid that I actually get involved with, but
one day,
because it sounds super fun.
Oh, they're so fun.
I know. I wanted to do the Ghost of Tsushima one, but you got to play the game for a little bit to get to the.
Yeah, you got to play for a pretty long time to get to the raid.
Yeah, I mean the multiplayer is super fun in that game. I wish we had played more of it, but
okay.
And I have the game now.
Oh shit!
Oh, we got full squad. Chris has it too.
Oh shit! Let's roll.
We can get a full squad running.
We're never gonna do it.
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Oh man, a non-samurai game that I'm looking. This is one that I'm tentatively looking.
Okay.
So we all know that Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2 is basically dead, right? Hardsuit Labs got pulled off of it. That game got delayed into eternity.
Yeah.
That game's probably dead.
Development hell.
It's in dev hell. Yeah. It's in dev hell. Yeah. There is another Vampire the Masquerade game. Actually, there's 2. There's one that I'm interested in that's coming out this year.
That's the Battle Royale one, right?
No. That one I played a little bit of. It's cool, but I'm pretty done with BR. Battle Royales, I'm pretty over that. It's everywhere. I played too much of it. I don't need to play more of it for a long time. There's a new one that's like just a straight up single player RPG coming called Vampire the Masquerade Swan Song, which is like a narrative driven RPG that's supposed to take place in like Boston in modern times, roughly at the same time the Bloodline stuff is happening on the West Coast. And it's from a studio that hasn't done a ton of games. If I was smart, I would have pulled that up before I mentioned the game, but I am not that smart. Let me just grab that real quick. It's by Big Bad Wolf Studio, which 10 out of 10 on that name. They did one other game called The Council, which was basically like, hey, this game is cool. It has really good writing, but some like the mechanics and stuff were not great. Which, hey, guess what? That's a Vampire the Masquerade game. That's all those are games that don't really have good mechanics, but have really cool narrative and like powers and stuff. So there isn't a ton, like they have like one trailer about this game. So there's not really a ton of information. Or I guess there's some character trailers. They're super cool looking too. But I'm just super excited to get back into that world. What trailers they have shown have looked super cool. The characters look interesting. The Vampire, both tabletop game and game, like video games that they've released, have all been really heavy on like intrigue and choices. And I don't imagine this one being any different from that. So I'm excited. I don't think it'll have the action that like Bloodlines and Bloodlines 2 have. I think it really is supposed to be strictly narrative. I don't know what that means yet. I don't know if that means we're getting like a Detroit Becomes Human but vampires, or if it's House of Ashes, or if it's got a little more action to it than that. I don't know yet at this point, but man, like that world is so cool. Like the way that the different sects like interact between like different bloodlines of vampires. So there's like this whole political thing, as well as like trying to stay hidden in the cities, is super cool. It being in Boston, I'm just looking forward to some really bad Boston accents, if I'm being totally honest.
You gotta park the car and have it done. Come on.
I'm looking forward to that. I think that's going to be horrible.
Coffee over here.
It's going to be horrible, and I'm looking forward to like some of that campiness too. But it's really awesome because like the other stuff they've done, not the studio, but like they also own like a werewolf franchise that takes place in the same universe. Those games are always bad. So the werewolf ones, like the werewolves in the tabletop game have a bunch of cool narrative. They never go into that for the video games. It's just like action murder wolf.
Action murder.
It's action murder wolf. There was like, I think it was Werewolf the Apocalypse came out last year or the year before. Shit looked and played like a PS2 game from the like previews that I saw. Like it was really bad. But this one looks dope, so I'm excited for this world.
Oh, cool.
Get hyped for some vampire.
Well, that's actually a really great jumping off point, because the game I was going to bring up, folks, it's Redfall.
Oh shit! I forgot about Redfall.
New Arcane game. This time, Arcane's going to do a co-op first-person shooter. The franchise that can't stay dead, even though nobody plays any of them anymore. This is the one that. No, like I'm not wrong, right? Like
you're not wrong, but like
sure.
I feel like a lot of it's just because they're not very good. Like the ones that have come out.
I guess that's true. Like I know people do love. There's like a niche audience for Deep Rock Galactic.
I wouldn't call that a 4-person co-op shooter either.
Okay, well,
like it has elements of that, but it's a lot more. It's like that meets elements of Minecraft and stuff. So like I
but yeah, hey, in this house we stand Arcane Studios. Pretty sure me and Elise have been banging the drum of Arcane for as long as we've been playing Arcane games, and their shit kicks ass. I am slightly skeptical because this is a co-op first-person shooter, which is a genre that I don't always love. See right here in the chat, Ashes in the Hourglass says the shooting in Arcane's games cannot carry a 4-player co-op game. I hear you on that. I don't think you're wrong on that, but
I thought the Deathloop shooting was perfectly good.
It was okay, but I think their powers, their unique powers, and their level design can carry almost any game. I think Arcane's level design is what makes it such a good studio. I think it is easily their best quality. I think that combined with the unique ways of traversal that they create in most of their games, and like the fact that they give you multiple solutions to any, and I mean any puzzle in a game, and most of the times they make it so it actually feels rewarding to do different ways. It's not like, okay, yeah, it's easiest to just go in and shoot things. They do a pretty good job at like making different routes feel pretty balanced.
They do.
I'm trying. You looking up?
I'm
did they make
looking.
The Wolfenstein co-op game? I can't remember.
I think they helped. I think they were a support studio.
Yeah,
the primary on Wolfenstein Youngblood was still Machine Games. Arcane helped.
I know they help with that, and they help with the level design in the newest Deus Ex Machina game as well.
Really?
Yeah. Just for level design, but yeah, they did.
I mean, that makes sense. Like, they're really good at level design, so like I get it.
Again, I will say, Deathloop was not my favorite game of theirs. It felt like their most like appealing to the masses game, which, hey, I'm happy it worked out for them because it was easily their best selling game. But I think you said it before. It was their pop album. Yeah. It feels like their pop album of like, hey, here's our greatest hits that are going to appeal to the public. But personally, give me more Dishonored and Prey-esque stuff. Part of me is slightly worried that this game could very easily fall into the camp of like, well, shit, people love Deathloop. Let's just kind of do more of that, but for person. And if it is that, I mean, I'm still going to play it. I mean, hell, it's going to come out on Game Pass. So like, fuck yeah.
I think you're safe there. Cause like they've been developing Redfall for it to, cause Deathloop came out last year.
And it's made by different studios within Arcane.
I get that. They can't design the game ahead of time knowing the reaction of Deathloop.
Yeah. No,
if they retool it for that, like this game's delayed 2 years. Like,
totally.
Oh shit, we have to remake Deathloop. Delay the game indefinitely.
No, but at the end of the day, like my one hope is that you don't need a 4-person squad, and not just a 4-person squad, but like, you know, if say just me and Elise want to hop in and play this game, I don't want to have 2 AI partners in order just to play the game. A lot of games in this genre do that, which would be kind of a bummer, because I understand that, like, I mean, hey, you know, balancing your game to have different numbers of human players is extremely difficult. But I do want to just be like, hey, if I can't find somebody to play with, or I can't find a full 4 squad to play with, like, let me still have fun and not feel like, oh shit, we've got this one shitty AI player.
But hear that?
That's
let him still have fun.
Let me still have fun. Come on, Arcane. Let me have fun.
That's half the reason that this like genre kind of it doesn't work for a lot of people, because you need exactly 4 people.
Yeah.
No more, no less. Or else you're not going to do very good.
That's true.
Yeah.
Or sometimes we are Back for Blood Let's Play. You still don't do good, so.
You guys did great. What are you talking about?
Yeah. Ashes in the Hourglass does ask one final question, which I think is interesting. Was this greenlit when Bethesda was in the shitter, aka before Microsoft bought them, when they needed a live service game? Basically, this is a passion project or something that was, or was this a passion project or something that was demanded of them?
I don't think Bethesda was ever in the shitter.
Yeah, I don't think they were in the red or anything like that. But I do think this was definitely started before Microsoft acquired them.
That was 2020.
Yeah, that being said, though, I actually think it was 2021. I think it was early last year. But I think that, I don't know. I just think everything Arcane does, like, makes fully in-house, like, is it feels like something that they deeply care about. And honestly, if Xbox hadn't put this as their one more thing at the end of their showcase for E3 last year, like, pointing it as like, hey, this is a big deal, we're going all in on this game, that gives me a lot of confidence for this.
Yeah, and They
March 9th
announced
is when the deal finalized.
Yeah, they
2021.
announced the deal in 2020, but it finalized.
Okay.
So yeah, it was
Gotcha.
100%. Even if it was 2020, still greenlit
Yeah.
before Microsoft acquired them. Takes way more than 2 years to make games like that.
Yeah. And
It's a
it
game.
looked cool.
How long can it take to make?
That's
yeah,
easy.
come on.
Some ones
Silk
and
Song,
zeros.
what are you
Easy
doing?
peasy.
It's, you're making a 2D game. Why is it taking so long?
Yeah, throw some ones and zeros together.
Hey, Cuphead DLC. Why did it take you so long?
Got hand draw.
It's 2D, David. It shouldn't take that long.
Like hand drawn on like those transparent things. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, no.
That's a good pull. I totally forgot about Redfall. I'm excited for that too. Now you mention it, this is gonna be a good year if all these games actually come out.
I want the game to be good because I definitely consider getting it.
Yeah, I need to see more of it first because we really didn't see gameplay. We just saw what I think is a really good cinematic trailer.
Very good cinematic, yes.
For what is almost certainly not going to be a story-driven game, but who knows? Who knows?
Yeah.
Prij, anything else you looking forward to?
I mean, only a month away. With a terrible name, but hopefully great gameplay. We got Triangle Strategy.
That name is so fucking bad.
That comes out in a month?
It's in March, yeah.
March 4th, baby.
Holy shit, what the fuck? No.
Dude, February and March this year are like the fact that more studios didn't just say F this, we're coming out in April is insane to me.
That hurts me.
Like God, what Ghostwire Tokyo, Kirby, and another game that I'm forgetting
are coming out in March.
Yeah, and like
3 of the games we've talked about today.
Yeah. Like Kirby, Ghostwire Tokyo, and another game I'm forgetting all come out the same day.
My God.
It's wild, yeah. But no, I mean, again, Triangle Strategy looks to hopefully be a very Final Fantasy Tactics Advanced style game. And as we've talked about before, Final Fantasy Tactics Advanced kicks ass.
Didn't it make like our fourth type of fourth for our best game of all time?
Yeah, because it kicks ass.
It's such a good fucking game.
It's a very good game. It's not that good, guys.
Except that it is.
Also, I will just toss this into the pile. Metal Slug Tactics 2. Just toss that into the Triangle Strategy. No, I don't think they announced a date, just 2022.
Okay, yeah.
But I'm just tossing that into the Triangle Strategy bucket of Final Fantasy Tactics Advanced games.
Oh yeah, no, I'm also looking forward to that game as well.
Yeah.
I really hope Metal Gear Slug Tactics is a great game.
You did the same thing I did.
Gear Slug?
It's just Metal Slug. I got mixed up.
Did I say Metal Gear Slug?
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's amazing. That's so amazing.
Whatever the fuck you want to call it.
Slug.
Metal Gear. Oh my God. Imagine if they made a Metal Gear game that was Final Fantasy Tactics Advanced style. Fuck yeah. Just this style. All the games. Just make
that
a
would
game.
require Konami to get off its fucking ass. Somebody just buy Konami, please. Just somebody acquire Konami video
Just buy
games.
the IP from them. Just don't even buy Konami. Just buy the IP.
Ah, Konami.
Sony, don't acquire a studio. Just buy the IP from Konami. Please, Sony.
Killing me.
Oh, man, Prij, you're right, though. I really want Triangle Strategy.
Yeah.
Like, I might have to rush through Horizon so that I can play Triangle Strategy.
That's kind of the thing. Luckily, one's like a Switch game, so I can do a lot more of like playing it on my bed and chilling. Than when I play I can probably manage both of them at the same time because one will be when I feel like being in my living room on my TV, and the other will be when I feel like laying on my bed like a butt.
That's true. There's so many fucking games to play in spring. What the hell?
Yeah, spring's wild.
Elise, what else are you looking forward to? I do, Elise. I do.
Okay. We run a video game content channel.
Oh my God.
I feel the need.
I got a couple I could talk about, but y'all remember Stray?
Yeah, I remember Stray.
Yeah.
Cat game.
Cat game.
It's like Cyberpunk walking around as a cat. Looks.
Hell yeah.
We don't know like what's going to be there. But like just a cyberpunk game where you play as a cat, like
they showed a little bit of
gameplay. I have to say about it.
They showed a tiny bit of gameplay.
Yeah,
a tiny bit of gameplay.
You roam around as a cat, and you have this cool light that makes robots melt or some shit. I don't know. It was weird.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm here for it regardless. Cool cat.
I'm here for it regardless.
So how about another game coming out in fucking February? Because it seems like the only time games are coming out.
It's also February?
No, Stray isn't announced.
Okay.
Total Warhammer 3.
Yeah.
Yeah. That comes out, I think the 17th.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, 17th. I really like the Total Warhammer 2. I haven't really played
is it the 17th? That is incredibly unfortunate for me for reasons I can't talk about. But that is incredibly unfortunate.
That's exactly 2 weeks from now.
And
also, like, a few days before Witch Queen, so...
Yeah, I do remember seeing that on the calendar.
I think the Total Warhammer games, I played Total Warhammer 2 for quite a bit. I've done like 4 or 5 campaigns in that. I've done like 2 or 3 campaigns in Total War Three Kingdoms, which is like the historical Three Kingdoms era China game. I think Total War is a really, really good grand strategy system. The overworld stuff, like the strategy layer, is super fun. Just growing your empire, doing war. It's, as the name implies, it's like much more about war than diplomacy. Like if you're not at war, you're losing. If you're not winning a war, you are losing the game. Like you can't.
Yeah.
You pretty much can't play that game.
You're not winning. You're losing.
That's how it's designed. Because for one, it's Warhammer. Like that's the state of the world in Warhammer Fantasy, and especially 40k. But they're not making a 40k game.
Man,
and
I really want them to.
Because the real focus of this game, I would love that. The closest we've got is what is it? Warhammer 40k, Battlefleet Gothic 2, Battlefleet Gothic Armada, which is like this. The campaign layer of that game is like a stripped down Total War. Anyway, what I was going to say is the focus of these games is on that RTS layer, which I don't love most RTSs, but this is like a really tactical, like moving around your units. You don't have to worry about building a base. You don't have to worry about like buying units mid-game. You just have to worry about how can I win this battle by like outflanking the opponent, sending my units to the right places, cover, everything like that. And it's a really interesting battle system that really makes you feel like you are a general in a war. And also like the magic and everything, like just destroying like an entire battalion with a fireball is very fun.
Yeah, adding in the magic for Warhammer did like way better in the Total War series than I thought it would. It actually,
I really liked Three Kingdoms. But the main like advantages of the Warhammer world are, one, the Warhammer world is just really fun, like just a really nice fantasy world. 2, it actually like makes like in Three Kingdoms, which is the only one I've like put a lot of time into that's like historical. The difference between the different like armies is very minimal. You get like a different commander, and
that
like,
varies a lot depending on the Total War game, because I've played like a lot of them, and the army differences, like Three Kingdoms and like Shogun, they're very similar because basically everyone's the same kind. Some might have like, our cavalry is a little stronger than the other, but a lot of the like older ones, especially like medieval and Empire, like straight up just different units that you have access to that do different things and
Three
function
Kingdoms
completely
had some
different.
really interesting like campaign layer.
Yeah,
like mechanics that really differentiate them, and I think that's a really good part of Three Kingdoms.
That's
like,
the historical ones do more with the
Warhammer,
campaign map than the combat.
Compared to Warhammer, it's like there's no contest. Like in Warhammer, the Skaven don't have like they don't have like arrows, and they're completely focused on like artillery and guns. And then you've got like these cheap units. Mm-hmm. There's like the vampire lords, I think, don't have artillery, and they don't have cavalry. So you need to like, and it's everything is like that. You need to actually focus on how to build your army correctly, and like you can play a different faction and have completely different like campaign mechanics. And I think that's a lot of fun. Plus, you can play as like in 2 at least. You can play as pirate vampires, which is so fun.
True. Oh, that's pretty rad.
And dinosaurs.
I'm looking forward to this one. Day 1 Game Pass too, so like I'm gonna have to like
Day 1 Game Pass, so you don't have to worry about like paying $80 for it.
I'm gonna sink so much time into that game that I don't have. Like so much. Heck yeah. I figure we do a couple shout outs and then I want to get some thoughts on like predictions.
Sure.
So a couple games I just want a quick shout out. Sea of Stars, coming from the Messenger devs. It's like a ode to Chrono Trigger. Super excited for that game.
Looks really good.
Looks super awesome. And this game that I know almost nothing about, but the style looked cool, Replaced. Looked like cyberpunk pixel art.
I remember that one, yeah.
That has kind of like the multi-layered pixel art approach that I think Katana Zero had a little bit. The game looks cool, what little I've seen of it. Those are my 2 shout-outs. Got any others you want to quickly shout out?
I'll shout out Falling Frontier, which is this, looks like a really interesting space RTS. I grabbed it from my fantasy critic. Hasn't got much coverage. It's like a pretty small team and like a very niche game, but it looks like what I want from like an Expanse styled, like pretty realistic space RTS.
It looked up.
I
looked it up when you picked it in Fantasy Critic.
David was like, "Can I counterpick this?"
Yeah, that's why I looked it up, and then I was like, "This is one of those games that gets reviewed by like 5 people, but they all give it a 10." So I'm not gonna counterpick that.
I'll quickly shout out just a couple of random indies. Card Shark looks like it could be cool. Goodbye Volcano High, which got delayed from last year. I'm looking forward to. And then Neon White, which was also supposed to come out winter of last year. I'm looking forward to as well.
I guess my big one is Atomic Heart, if it ever comes out.
My God.
Please, God, let that game come out.
No, please don't. I counterpicked it. Please don't.
I know you did. Atomic Heart looks like what I want the next... what's that genre called? Something BioShock, but it's something sim is what they call it.
Immersive sim?
Immersive sim, yeah.
Oh, okay.
It looks like the immersive sim game that I want to see. It looks so good, and it's made by like a nothing studio, so it doesn't seem like it can be real, and it's been delayed like 3 years in a row now, and every time they put out a trailer, I'm like, fuck, this still looks so amazing. But yeah, we got nothing of whether or not this game's actually going to make it. But damn, I want it to. It looks so good. Atomic Heart. Oof.
A couple more I want to like just quickly mention. Stranger of Paradise Final Fantasy Origin looks like it's actually going to be a lot of fun.
It looks like dumb fun.
Stupid,
it looks like dumb fun, yeah.
Yeah.
The dumbest of fun.
Fucking... There's another one I wanted to shout out here. Right, Starfield. Starfield's coming out, maybe.
Oh, that was one of the big ones I meant to mention earlier. Yeah.
Oh yeah, Starfield.
We didn't talk about that.
Care about that.
Hopefully it's coming out in November, and like
fingers crossed.
First new Bethesda game since Fallout 4.
Yeah.
If you don't count 76.
I don't.
I mean, first new IP from Bethesda proper in decades.
God.
Like,
Yeah.
Bethesda proper specifically.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, heck yeah. And Forspoken was another big one that I didn't bring up that I'm excited for.
Sure.
Oh yeah.
Awesome. Well, folks, I wanted to ask a couple prediction questions.
Mm-hmm.
So first, we'll start with this one. Been in the news a bunch. NFTs. NFTs have been in the news a lot. A lot this year.
Uh-huh.
To all of our chagrin. My question to you, who is the next company, game company specifically, to announce and then quickly back out of NFTs?
Damn it. Okay, you got me on that one.
The problem is I can't even keep track of who's done it already.
I mean, the fact that like this week has been a good week for games companies saying, oopsies, NFTs are bad press. We're not doing them. To the point that, was it Team 17? Fucking Electronic Arts backpedaled on NFTs when 3 months ago we had a story on Around the Monitor that was the head of the CEO of Electronic Arts says that NFTs are the future of gaming.
Yeah,
but we don't know what they really are, but they're the future.
That was funny because he very quietly backed out. Like there was no like announcement. They basically in a company meeting, like they said, "Yeah, we're not really looking into it right now."
Yeah. Both of them were the same. They were investor calls, like quarterly investor.
Yeah, thank you, thank you.
But it's just like, I mean, hell, if even fucking Troy Baker did it and then backed out of it.
God, he got roasted. So
he got ratioed.
He got hardcore ratioed.
Did y'all watch the Play Watch or listen to or watch the Play Watch Listen where they talked about that? Because man, fucking love Alana Pierce.
There.
No, he was on it.
No, sorry. They did an NFT video
they did an NFT video
a week or two prior
before,
and he wasn't there.
And Alana had to come out and be like, "Yo, this was not planned. We didn't even plan to talk about NFTs." And then they did a reactionary one where they talked to Troy about it, and like, Alana Pierce is like, she's the fucking best.
No, she's great.
Because Troy was like, "Man, I'm really glad that like I have my friends here to like, you know." Call me out. No. It's like call me out on like when I'm wrong and like be there for me. And Alana was basically like, "Yeah, I'm there for you as long as you back the fuck out of this." And I was like, "Damn, Alana just had such fierce like, yo, I'm your friend, but if you do shitty shit, I'm not your friend." Like, it was just so powerful.
Ashes in the Hourglass is the correct answer. THQ Nordic. That's the best one I can say. That is a perfect answer. They would do it.
Oh, I bet you Gearbox would do it too.
Oh, that's a Randy Pitchford special. I've never heard it.
That is a Randy Pitchford-ass move.
That's so true.
Yeah, y'all.
I feel like Riot's up there.
They're not gonna do it. Guarantee you, they're not gonna do NFTs.
Really?
They have enough bad press already. They're not gonna do NFTs.
I guess that's true. I just feel like getting a fucking Pulsefire NFT Ezreal would be the fucking, the move.
The only reason Riot would announce it is so that they can immediately unannounce it for the good press.
No, it's not worth it.
That's the only reason they would do it.
The only reason I can see Riot doing it is if some other different worse news was coming out that day.
And they needed to soften the blow.
And they were like, "Ooh, we're doing NFTs, promise. Yeah, it's totally real. We didn't just make it up right now so you don't see that like some other thing came out." Honestly, my guess is it's gonna be Take-Two.
No, that's a good answer actually too.
Like 2K21 or 22, whatever they're on, being like, "I'll get NFTs of your favorite wrestler in WWE 2K23.
Oh, I was put it in the basketball franchise they have that makes them bajillions of dollars.
Yeah, but the wrestling one's the one they can do it without as many people being mad. They can try test the waters, do the Ubisoft route.
Here's the thing though, they fuck over like every one of their basketball games.
Let's be frank, they fuck over all of their sports games.
They put straight up ads in the game.
That was UFC as well. They did it there.
Yeah, like
oh wait, no, that was EA. Sorry, EA did the commercials in UFC.
I have zero faith that they won't.
Yeah, no, like
Take-Two is a good
Take-Two.
pick.
I'm pretty sure was another one because they don't care. They have no good reputation, so like they don't
No,
care.
no. It's the thing where they don't have a good reputation, but nobody really seems to care. Like they're not an Activision or an EA or a Ubisoft that people constantly scream at. I feel like Take-Two, people are like, yeah, they suck, but like we're not mad at them for some reason, I guess.
I feel like just none of the people in the press are playing those games.
That's
minus your Rockstar games because they're owned by But hey, guess what? Rockstar does get shit on for their shitty behavior, so it's just
clearly,
like the rest of Take-Two.
Yeah, I mean, literally, their remake of the trilogy. They got dumpstered on last year.
What about Atlas?
They're part of Sega.
Atlas would do NFTs?
They're part of Sega. I don't think so.
They are, aren't they?
Sega's kind of cool.
I thought like Sega said they were going to do it.
Hey.
Maybe. I mean, you know what? Keep talking, Nate. I'll look it up.
We all want Sonic NFTs, right?
Yeah.
Oh, they did file a trademark for it like 2 weeks ago. Okay.
Oh,
they haven't announced anything. They just got a trademark, which could be meaningless.
I can't wait to get my goggles NFT.
Your official goggles NFT.
My official goggles NFT, guys.
They got a trademark that doesn't necessarily mean they're going to do anything with it. Which is my hope, is that my hope is that they got the trademark and they have seen how gamers react and are like, trademarks are cheap. It's fine. Like, because like Sega's like the cool Japanese studio that like lets people use their stuff all the time, and they're like, hey, you made this with like our assets? Dope. This looks cool. We're not gonna take you down. Like that's usually Sega. So I'm like, I feel like they wouldn't do NFT.
We'll see.
Going back to Zach, you mentioned the GTA game.
Yes.
What game this year pulls a GTA Cyberpunk of just releasing in a garbage state?
Starfield.
Oh. Yeah. easy answer on that one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not that I expect or assume it will, but if I had to guess a game that's going to come out in a garbage state, my guess is Starfield.
It's a Bethesda first party title. I mean, come on. That's why you wait 4 months until the mods are out, and then it's better.
Damn. Yeah. No, I forgot about Starfield. That question. That's a pretty.
I'm trying to see if there are any other ones I can think of.
I don't think it'll be released in a garbage state. I'm slightly worried about Tiny Tina's Wonderlands just because it was announced that it's coming to Game Pass. I feel like that game is big enough it doesn't need to come to Game Pass. So part of me is like, why are they doing that? But
I mean, Xbox is spending that money. They want to get a piece of that 69 billion that went to Activision.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like those are. Yeah,
it won't be broken.
Suicide Squad already got delayed. I don't think Gotham Knights is going to come out this year.
Yeah, I think Gotham Knights will.
Gotham Knights.
If Gotham Knights comes out, I think it's going to be broken.
That could be.
Yeah, I can see Gotham Knights coming out in a bad state as well. But again, I just don't think it's going to come out this year.
I don't think they're going to delay both Suicide Squad and Gotham Knights.
They already did that, but
they already delayed Suicide
No. I mean, that's what I mean. They delayed Suicide Squad. I don't think they're going to do both.
Oh, I mean, they did both last year. They were both supposed to come out last year. They both got delayed.
Yeah, but I don't think they're going to do both again.
Yeah.
See, the problem is we've seen more of Suicide Squad, and that already got delayed.
Yeah.
And we've seen less of Gotham Knights, and that's why I think that's absolutely not coming out before Suicide Squad.
Precisely where I'm at. The other one I had two written down. The other one was any Ubisoft game. Whatever they release. I don't know.
What do they have coming out this year?
They have a lot of stuff.
Rainbow Six.
They had Rainbow Six Extraction, which was supposed to come out like a year or two ago. So,
well, it was also called Rainbow Six Quarantine at the time.
Then, so, yeah, I don't think they have much that is confirmed to be coming out this year.
We assume the new Mario plus Rabbids.
Oh, that's Ubisoft. Yeah.
Oh,
I don't think that'll be
God.
broken.
Apparently, Avatar: Frontiers of Pandora is still set to come out in 2020.
Oh, that's gonna be garbage. No, if that comes out, it's gonna be broken.
Yeah. Can I say that's another one that can come out in a terrible state? Oh God, I forgot about that.
Yeah. The other one I'm worried about, I don't think it'll be broken, but is a little risky, I think, is actually Forspoken. I'm a little concerned.
I hear you on that.
I think it's much lower tier of concern than any of the others we mentioned, but I'm a little concerned about that.
The previews we got were high enough that I'm like, I think it's going to be okay, but we'll see.
Along that vein, is 2022 the year of Cyberpunk 2077 Redemption?
No.
Okay. Listen, I felt the need to ask the question. There's been rumors that their updated version with a ton of patches is coming this year.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
I think there was
the game is so like broken and unfinished. Like I don't think 50 patches could fix it.
Here's the thing, I think they'll fix it, but I don't think it's going to redeem it.
Yeah, that was the second part of the underlying part of the question.
I actually do think they'll fix it for the most part, so that most people can play it. But I think the damage is already done.
Yeah, well, it's that, and again, I don't think I mean, okay, yeah, there were a lot of great game-breaking bugs in that game, but I don't think what made that game not be this like next step in gaming that everybody was hyping it up to be isn't because of the bugs. I think the game itself is just it's a game we've seen before, and it's ambitious, don't get me wrong, but like we've had crazy big open world games like this. So it just feels like kind of a whatever.
Man, speaking of dead games, is E3 finally dead this year?
I think so. Actually.
There's no physical thing. They haven't announced a digital thing yet. Do you think E3 is totally dead, or do they eke out a digital presentation?
I think they limp out a digital year, and this is the last one.
Here's the thing. Last year, I thought they actually did a pretty okay digital thing. They definitely needed to curate it more, but I was shocked at how good their digital thing was on the whole. But the fact that they came out and announced, hey, there's going to be no digital or no physical E3 this year, and specifically like didn't have plans to have a digital E3, I was like, yo, what's up, E3? Like that's the kind of announcement where you have the digital thing to fall back on to soften the blow and to also make sure that people are still looking forward to your thing. That feels really scary to me. So I don't know. I'm sure Jeff Keighley was like, I mean, it's my time.
To be fair to Jeff Keighley, like the reason he broke off and did Summer Game Fest was because he wanted to do a digital thing with E3 and they didn't want to play ball.
Oh no, for sure. Like,
yeah, I mean, Nibel on Twitter sent out a joke tweet. I think it was this week actually.
That he was buying E3.
Yeah, it's like Jeff Keighley buys E3, and Jeff Keighley even responded with like a sweating tweet.
Yeah.
But I think personally, I think not announcing a digital one.
Yeah, because like at this point, you'd have to be announcing it to get all the parties you want involved. Yeah. Like to start organizing under your banner. Because otherwise, they're just gonna do their own thing, which like almost all the major companies are doing anyways. So like,
I think E3's dead. I wouldn't be surprised if PAX did another conference because they do. Theirs are for profit. I wouldn't be surprised if they did around when E3 usually was in LA or something to kind of fill that void. But let's see. 2 more questions, then if any of y'all have some exciting predictions. Number 1, Switch Pro's been a rumor for like 2 years. You think that shit's real? Does it come out this year?
I think it was real. I don't think it is anymore.
You think it was real, then now it's not?
Yeah, I think the chip shortage has made them say nope. Let's just put it off until we have whatever the next thing is going to be.
That's a fair point, actually.
Because we can just save all those chips and put them into that, so that thing comes. Because at this point, the Switch is 6 years old.
Yeah, there was a news story this week that it broke it's past 100 million units sold.
Can't beat out the Wii.
No, well, yeah, but it sold.
Also, it's not 6; it's turning 5 this year.
Oh, okay, sorry. It sold more physical copies of the Switch than the Wii U sold games and software, which is wild.
It's not when you look at how many Wii U sold.
No, I mean, listen, David, I own a Wii U, so.
I think there is a Switch Pro still. I don't know if it comes out this year. The supply chains have fucked
if it doesn't come out this year, then what's the point of releasing one? Because they're gonna have a new console within 2 years.
Here's the thing about that. They said in their earnings call this week that the Switch was halfway through its life cycle.
Oh, they said that last year.
Yeah, I feel like that's just talk.
I think it's talk, but like they did that. Like I think there's going to be a 3DS, which is basically the same thing as. Because I think doesn't Nintendo roll together the 3DS and DS sales numbers?
That's not entirely true. No.
They don't.
No. Those are different. They're different.
Okay.
They're different.
But let me rephrase that, because they had the DS, they had the DS Lite, they had the DSi, the DS XL. Like they had so many different iterations.
All of those are the same.
All those are the same. And some of the later ones I think were actually more powerful than the original. And they all had better battery life and so many of those things. I would be shocked if by the end of next year we didn't have.
Listen, I've been banging the drum forever that I think it's going to happen, and I'm turning tail on this one. I think it's dead.
I don't think so. Switches do.
I'm honestly not sure it was ever like actually real.
I would bet a lot of money it was.
They might have had like talks and plans that it might happen, but I don't think there was ever like work on it. Is my prediction.
Oh, I think they worked on it. If it doesn't happen, they worked on it and COVID killed. Is what I think happened.
Yeah.
Entirely possible.
Yeah, if it doesn't come out next year, they just moved on. They're going to make a Switch 2 instead of a Pro.
That's 100% what I think, is that they worked on it and then COVID killed it. And they'll just kind of use whatever they learned from their R&D team to roll into whatever.
Yeah, and Jack earlier talking about the dock, I think like making a powerful dock that enhances the Switch, I think that would be like a Switch. Where they put a little more into the dock or into handheld. I mean, we got the freaking Steam Deck coming this year, which that's another thing I'm excited for. My thing reserved for Q2. So yeah, probably not this year. I'm gonna say no.
I saw on Twitter that like devs are saying, like devs who have like pre-release versions of the Steam Deck are saying like it's really good and it just works.
Yeah.
So
it looks super cool. Last real question. Acquisitions. Hot topic. Who's buying who next? Or just in general this year, who you think's buying someone else?
I feel like EA is going to get something. I don't know what.
Oh, you think EA is going to acquire somebody smaller?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I've been thinking about EA, but that makes sense.
Yeah.
What would they buy?
Who would they buy?
Team Cherry.
Oh God.
No.
God, please.
Announcing Hollow Knight Silksong NFTs.
Yeah, who would he?
What about like Team Ninja? Are they owned?
Team Ninja?
Yeah.
Isn't that?
I want to say they're Koei Tecmo or something.
Oh wait, I'm not thinking Team Ninja. I'm thinking
Team Ninja is owned by Koei.
Who makes Hellblade?
Oh, okay.
Who'd you say, Elise?
Ninja Theory. That's it.
Oh, Xbox owns them.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well then, fuck me.
Here's the thing. I think the biggest players left that could be bought are Sega, Square Enix. Somebody could get fucking wild and buy Ubisoft, but I don't think anybody really wants that. I think everybody's pretty happy with Ubisoft being where they're at as this like third party developer.
Yeah,
but
I don't know that the Guillemot family would sell.
Oh yeah, I mean
because they fought off that Vivendi thing
over
yeah,
tooth and fucking nail. So I don't think they're looking to sell, but
with enough dough, they probably.
yeah. I mean, if somebody shows up with that fucking Microsoft money, but
no, they're too addicted to abusing their employees.
We're not in it for the money.
I'm trying to think of like a AA size studio that EA would buy and build up into AAA, because I feel like at this point that's what they would have to do.
Mm-hmm. I'm just really hoping, honestly, that Square Enix doesn't get bought. That's like my main thing. At least not get bought by like a platform holder.
Yeah. I was gonna say my guess is that Squeenix gets bought by Sony.
That's kind of my guess.
It's not a bad guess.
It feels a little out there.
I just hope it doesn't.
I mean, the biggest thing is, again, Sony used to own a ton of shares of Square Enix.
Yeah,
so it's
I think they still do.
And
when I was investigating this, they actually apparently a few years ago sold off.
Yeah, I just feel like the environment has changed. It's like that decision a few years ago made sense, but now it's like I feel like and Sony still has like a bunch of cash on hand. Like they have enough cash to just buy. Like I saw a really good article talking about like these companies. Microsoft is one of them, but big companies, when they have like billions and billions and billions in cash on hand, and inflation goes up as much as it did this year, that's part of what spurs the buying spree, because they're like, if we're just holding this cash, we're literally losing money. Like this money is worth less than it was.
Think of that. Yeah.
So like that's one of the theories why people are buying so much right now, in addition to Xbox trying to build up Game Pass and Sony trying to like build up their multiplayer stuff. And that's part of why I think Squeenix is a decent pickup, because they have some multiplayer, but they still have that AAA single player thing that Sony really likes to tout. Like they've got their Final Fantasies, but they've got their Final Fantasy 14s. They've got their...
You're right. That's a good point. I was going to say, because Sony's whole thing with buying Bungie is that they're not what Sony is.
Yeah, and that's what I mean is like I feel like for a really big acquisition, Square Enix toes that line where like they've got the giant MMO Final Fantasy. They've got
Avengers.
Yeah, I was going to say Avengers, but like not so much they have Avengers, but they have a studio that has now had a trial by fire multiplayer experience and learned a lot.
Yeah.
So if you
learned a lot of fire,
but they've got that mixture of Western and Eastern studios and methodologies that I feel like fits in with how Sony functions very well compared to any of these other studios. And I don't think Xbox is going to buy a Japanese studio. Because I don't think they're trying. After seeing them buy Activision Blizzard, I'm like, I don't think they're trying to get that hard into the Japanese market.
I'd agree with that.
They want to, and they might make some headway with Game Pass and stuff. But I don't think they're not going to invest that kind of money into Japan.
No.
But there've been a lot of talks too of like buying a Japanese company when you're not a Japanese company is difficult. And guess what? Sony's a Japanese company. Their game studios primarily function out of the US, but like they are a Japanese company through and through.
Ash has asked, does Nintendo buy Platinum after Bayonetta 3's release? I don't think Nintendo does anything.
You were talking about like what AA developers aren't like spoken for. Platinum's one of them. Like,
that's for sure.
Is a very like they're very publisher dependent. They like always. They've worked with like 20 different publishers or some bullshit.
Yeah. Platinum's one of them.
where they made a bunch of great games, and then they had a few rough years, and I think now they're in a pretty good
back
streak
into
again.
form. They're getting back into form. Yeah, Platinum's weird. I could see them getting bought by Sony too. I don't see Nintendo picking them up.
They're definitely a decent.
Oh yeah, Babylon's Fall gonna flop.
Babylon's Fall, yeah, no,
that's gonna flop. But yeah, like Nintendo doesn't seem to want to acquire. They got asked during their earnings call too, and they're like, "Well, we're not really looking, but like if it happens, it happens." Was kind of their answer. Yeah. And I'm like, okay. That to me doesn't read as like we're gonna go buy Platinum after they finish Bayonetta. If anything, they buy Platinum probably before they finish Bayonetta, so they can eat up all those profits. But yeah, and like Bandai has too many anime and like physical good things for a game company to buy them. That's too much of their portfolio. I guess Sony could, because Sony has some of that stuff too, but I don't think they would.
I mean, sometimes like not all companies are willing or able to, but to buy out like parts of a company.
Yeah, they could buy the gaming sector. Well, here's the thing with Bandai. If you buy the gaming sector of Bandai, the anime sector dies, because they use the anime.
Yeah, that's fair.
They use the anime to sell games, and they use the games to sell anime. And if you take away one of those, the other half withers on the branch.
Really good point.
So I don't see them doing that.
Should also mention, like, Sega. A big part of Sony's acquisition of Bungie, in my opinion, is not just like making money off Destiny, but also Sony has Sony Pictures and Sony Animation and like all this stuff and Bungie has been talking for like a year or so now about branching out into like not just Destiny being a game, but Destiny being like a media
film or
franchise
TV,
with like film or TV or whatever. So I think that's a big part of why Sony bought Bungie, is to get all those things under the Sony Pictures umbrella. Or Sony,
I don't think they care that much about it. Like, I'm sure they're going to make those things, but I wouldn't buy them for that. I don't think Destiny has that much.
Should I bring this up because like what else could Sony like?
Well, I mean, Sony's been
under that umbrella as well.
When I look to, I mean, yeah, I think any of these companies fit that umbrella. I think the time we're at in games is that really most games are adapted now. Like, people have learned how to do it. But like, and I think Sony, and the news article that came out that like a third of the purchase cost was towards employee incentives to keep them on, screams to me they want the people and knowledge of Bungie more than they want Destiny. Like, it's still money. Like, it's money and it's a franchise, but that screams to me that they are a lot more interested in the people and the knowledge necessarily than the IP. When a third of the cost is maintaining those. Could be wrong. Would happy to have Destiny come out and just like have its heyday. Like, that'd be awesome. Super expected. I don't see Platinum getting bought at all either. Just because EA is the only, like, the other companies I see buying them are the smaller AAAs, like Ubisoft, EA, formerly what would have been Activision. But they're a Japanese company. I don't see any of them buying Platinum.
Yeah, I mean, we know that there's going to be another major acquisition coming soon, at the very least, because Jeff Keighley himself tweeted out, like, hey, something's going to happen.
Yeah,
it's Jeff Keighley acquiring E3.
Yeah, no.
Well,
I thought about
Jim
that.
Ryan said more were coming too. He was like,
That's
"Hey,
true.
this isn't our
That's
last
Sony.
acquisition," and Jeff Keighley is like, "Hey, there's a bunch of stuff in it."
Yeah, yeah. I
We'll
think
see.
Sony getting Square Enix is the most likely.
Yeah, I think Sony getting any of the big Japanese studios, Sega, Square, not Bandai, because again, anime and all. Even though Square also has an anime, like Konami, I can't see Sony buying because half of their, if not more, of their money comes from pachinko.
Other things, yeah.
But that could be separated off. Like, they could just buy the games division.
Ashes says PlayStation buys Remedy. Forgot about Remedy. That's a good
Remedy would be a good one.
pickup.
I could
Yeah.
also see EA buying Remedy.
Interesting. Yeah, I mean, yeah.
I could see either of those happening. They're like the perfect size.
Japanese, right?
Remedy has a much more closer association with Xbox, but I could totally see.
Remedy
that clearly doesn't matter. Fucking PlayStation just bought Bungie, so like I don't know.
Remedy is out of Finland.
Yeah,
pretty sure they're Finland.
Sony is Japanese, right?
Sony is Japanese.
Yeah.
It's like a weird thing where like Sony Worldwide Studios headquarters is based in the US now, but
the
like,
games division is headquartered in the US.
Yeah, it's a weird.
It is still a Japanese run company.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of their executives are out of the European side too. It's very weird.
So capitalism is international.
Yeah.
Well, heck yeah. I guess the last thing I wanted to just ask, were there like any other random predictions y'all had for this year?
The other major one I know we're running late. I do want to talk about is Sony's Project Spartacus.
Yeah, that's coming soon. I think that's imminent.
Yeah, that's going to be announced within the next few months. What do we think that's going to be like?
I literally don't know what that is.
It's their answer to Game Pass, basically.
Supposedly, it's all rumor stuff, but
yeah. I think it's just going to be Sony first party games, but not the current ones. But you'll be able to play Crash Bandicoot 1 on your PlayStation 5 if you ever wanted that, I guess.
Well, even that's technically not a Sony first party game.
That's true. I wonder how that's going to work actually now.
Xbox owns that. Like,
yeah,
that's not going to be on Spartacus. Xbox owns it now.
Yeah, you're fucking right. Damn. Is
that an Activision joint?
Yeah,
Activision owns Crash Bandicoot. Naughty Dog developed the original 3.
Yeah.
But it's an Activision joint. The trilogy remaster that they did was under Activision. Vicarious Visions, I think, did that one.
And then the fourth game was made by Toys for Bob, which is
all Activision.
Also an Activision.
So that ain't coming to PlayStation.
It's a good point. But I think it's just going to be a backwards compatible like catalog, like the PlayStation Plus collection that we have now for like 20 PlayStation 4 games.
Yeah, I think you're right.
It's basically going to be a better version of the Switch Online like package, the suite that you get.
I think they're going to have a decent number of third-party games. Not a lot. Nothing close to a Game Pass.
You think there's going to be any third-party game? I don't think there's going to be any third-party.
I think so because they have third-party in PlayStation Now and PlayStation for this. So I think there'll be a small number of relatively contemporary third-party, I think. Like I think going back to like PS3, PS2, PS1, if they have all the backwards compatibility stuff, that's not going to be. Maybe some of the stuff from PS1 that was like made by Square or Enix and published by Sony. Sly.
Yeah.
But I think there'll probably be some third-party PS4 and PS5 games to entice people as well.
I hope so, because otherwise I'm just going to say, well, Xbox Game Pass is better. But
yeah, listen, Sony owns this game I talked about a long time ago on this channel. They own Legend of Legaia on PlayStation 1.
Fucking David.
So if they want to bring that one back, that'd be cool.
This game that nobody played. Just let it die, David.
It did die. It did get a sequel. The sequel was bad. But I think that's coming first half of the year. I'd be shocked if that's not out by. Actually, my prediction for that is whatever Sony does at the traditional E3 time is when they drop.
I think you have to explain it. I think they have to do a long not direct.
I don't think they have to explain shit because Xbox already did that for them.
Oh, okay. I like the spicy attitude on that.
They did. Like Game Pass is out there.
Well, here's the thing: they're going to put out a video explaining like, hey, we're doing it. This is the thing. It's coming on this day or very soon. And then they're going to put out a blog post and people are going to be like, this is either like feature bare or you're not explaining enough or we're just going to clown on it because it's not as good as Xbox
I
Game
picture
Pass.
it being
price.
in their state of play. They're talking about what it is. They're like, hey, this is presumably it's PS Plus. PS Plus is either the name carries over or PS Plus and PS Now die and this replaces it. But I think they talk about it. They say what's happening with that. And then they're like, it's out now. If you have PS Plus, that means you have this tier. If you want to upgrade, it costs, because I think the tier thing that people rumored is true. So I think that's going to come and they'll be like, hey, if you want to upgrade your subscription, it costs this much extra on top of it.
Yeah, you get like Crunchyroll fucking rolled in with your PlayStation Plus or whatever.
Oh, I would. More. Hell yeah, dude.
I hope that's what they do because I'm fucking tired of paying for Crunchyroll. I'll tell you that.
Oh, especially, listen, brief story time. Crunchyroll will not accept my credit card.
Can it be really brief?
Really brief.
For 2.5 hours.
Really brief.
Yeah,
Crunchyroll will not accept my credit card. Only for subscriptions. I have to buy a Crunchyroll gift card with the same credit card from their store and gift it to myself in order to buy time for Crunchyroll. And their apps are pieces of shit. That was it. That was the short story. That's all. I guess the only other thing I wanted to ask, and then we'll call it because I know. Prij. Literally super quick. Final Fantasy 16 and 7 Remake Part 2.
7 Remake 2, we see the whatever the trailer they're going to show us. 16, we see a thing, but it's not coming out this year.
I think 16
I can see it coming out like holiday.
I think 16 comes out with a demo for part.
Ooh, 16. I like that.
Yeah.
Prij, you have a horse in that race? Do you care?
I don't think 16 comes out this year. And I think maybe we hear a little bit about part 2.
All right, folks, we got to put Prij to bed. All right. Sleepy boy needs to sleep. So
work.
Thank you for joining us for this episode. It's been fun. Thank you for just, chatting along with us as we go in the Twitch chat. Appreciate it. If you're listening, you can join us live every other Thursday at 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern. Don't roll your eyes. All that.
Gotta give the Pacific time first.
It's where I live.
I know.
But join us live at twitch.tv/savedatateam. If you like our stuff, check it out in audio form on all your favorite podcast networks. Give us a thumbs up. Give us a rating where available. It helps us immensely. Even if you watch the YouTube version, Jesus. Watch the YouTube version or watch live on Twitch, please go check us out on a podcast network. It really does help people find our stuff. And if you really like what we're doing, head over to patreon.com/savedatateam. Toss us a couple bucks. That would also be heavily appreciated. And you get access to some extra chats. You get in the Pokemon data game when we finally finish that eventually. Lots of cool stuff. With that, y'all have a wonderful weekend.
Take care, everybody.
Bye.